Obviate that. I think it would be a good thing to do, given the circumstances.
Olukungaana lw'abalamuzi ba kkooti enkulu mu ggwanga lumaze ennaku 3 ng'abalamuzi bano bakubaganya ebirowoozo ku ngeri ey'okumalawo okwetuuma kw'emisango wamu n'okumanyisa abantu ba wansi emirimu egy'essiga eddamuzi ssaako n'ebirala.
3-4 people present themselves as widows, and sometimes a person who is not lawfully the widow and has more resources or more knowledge and or is vocal gets to the Administrator General first. So in order to obviate that, I think it would be a good thing to do, given the circumstances in which we live, where actually you find that in Uganda most marriages are not registered.
Okay.
Most people just live, come we stay, they come.
So my lord, you are for vetting by the AG. Okay.
Have you resolved to do? Then the details you get in the main document. Sure. We have resolved to do this, we have resolved to do this. We reiterate if you're emphasizing. We rededicate ourselves to do.
Bw'abadde aggalawo olukungaana luno abalamuzi abasoba mu 2 Ssaabalamuzi Alphonse Owiny Dollo abasabye okugoberera ensonga ezikubaganyiziddwako ebirowoozo.
The importance of what is by misnomer called alternative dispute resolution in ensuring that our people access justice and meaningful justice is somewhat outside case, but very important lecture on parental responsibility for men, notwithstanding that it spared the women of the family, vehemently, zealously, and jealously defend the independence of the judiciary. That is how we will operate. That's how we have operated all along. And I will keep to my lane the evidence you saw for yourself this evening. And I believe Parliament will keep to its lane and the Executive will also keep to its lane so that we can move this country forward.
Ono ayogedde ku nsonga y'okukubagana empawa wakati w'amasiga 3 eggwanga kwe litambulizibwa okuli olukiiko olufuzi Paalamenti ssaako n'essiga eddamuzi.
We make for a better country if the 3 heads of arms of government speak to one another without losing the independence which the Constitution clearly states. We do disservice to the country if the 3 arms of government, the ability to relate with one another, the ability to informally point out to one another that this is not how things should be done, that please veer of this, keep to your lane. I think only a few minutes ago we reminded ourselves that we were going into her lane. We did this, right, Honourable Speaker, yeah. This can only be achieved if the 3 heads of government can speak to one another, but without losing sight of the independence that the Constitution provides for in the execution of their respective responsibility. I want to assure my sister, the Right Honourable Speaker, for us in the judiciary,
Yabadde omugenyi omukulu mu lukungaana luno Anita agambye nti abalamuzi bano balina okwekenneenya ensala yaabwe ey'emisango.
And we should make sure that we have these laws put in place and respected and being followed. And the rest of the people will always respect. Just like you've been referring to what was in Tanzania. That is how we want your laws to be, or your decisions to be followed and respected. Judicial accountability is not an interference or a limitation to judicial independence. When we ask you we want judicial accountability, we are not interfering. As sisters in the arms of government, we enjoy the complementary relationship built on the role and mandate of clarity, mutual trust, respect, and goodwill. In the pursuit of the people-centric judiciary, this requires subordination of individual interests, perception and whims in furtherance to public good. This calls for consistency and upholding professionalism at all times. As judicial assemblies here today, to take stock of the performance of the previous year and align itself to a better performance in the coming year, as judiciary want to commit as legislature, we want to commit ourselves.
Ono ayongeddeko nti bakukola ekisoboka okuwagira essiga eddamuzi okutambuza obulungi emirimu, ekintu kyagambye nti bakwongera okukyekkaanya ne Ssaabalamuzi w'eggwanga.
To take stock of the performance of the previous year and align itself to a better performance in the coming year, as judiciary want to commit as legislature, we want to commit ourselves in terms of appropriation. We are going to support the judiciary. This can be evidenced from what the Chief Justice presented. The 11th Parliament increased your budget, and we are still going to increase your budget in this financial year. In terms of oversight, after realizing that there's a lot of backlog, the sectoral committee made a recommendation to budget, and upon that, there has been an increase in the number of judges that has been approved by Parliament of Uganda. And my presence here today is basically cementing the relationship between judiciary and legislature without interfering whatever you do. But we want to promise you that when you have a challenge, for us we are in the powerhouse. We're in the powerhouse where there is a challenge. Please feel free and always contact us, and we can have informal meetings, Chief Justice, and have all these things resolved. We are aware that you have a strategic objective 2020-2025, which is hinged on equitable access to justice, improving the processes, reducing the backlog, developing the judicial workforce. And you can only do that with the help of the other sister arms of government. You cannot live alone. You are not an island. But as Parliament, we are determined to support you, and we are determined to ensure that we do appropriate allocation of funds. We pass conducive laws that help you in carrying your work.
Olukuŋŋaana luno lw'abalamuzi olw'omulundi ogwokutaano lutambulidde ku mulamwa ogugamba nti enkola etambulira ku bantu okutuusa obwenkanya eri abantu. Omulangira Jjunju Moses yakusakidde eggulire lino ku KTV Amalindirire.